Hello. We all know that enzymes play a very important role in our day-to-day life. Now, today we are going to discuss about enzyme kinetics. Okay, so today it is an introduction to enzyme kinetics. What is the necessity to learn about enzyme kinetics? No, that is what we are going to discuss. It's a very short presentation. So, when you know whatever you want to know about an enzyme, it will be known to you if you know the enzyme kinetics. Okay, so what are the terminologies which we use in enzyme kinetics? For example, what is meant by Vmax? What is meant by Km? What is its significance? These are the things which we will be discussing in our introductory class. So, let me share my screen. Yeah, enzyme kinetics and introduction. Now, what is meant by enzyme kinetics? Enzymes are catalysts, which are proteins that accelerate the rate of reactions to reach equilibrium. That we all know by now. The branch of biochemistry that deals with a quantitative description of the process involved in enzymatic catalysis and the role of variables that affect the rate of reaction is what is called as enzyme kinetics. So you get to know what is meant by kinetics, okay? So it actually describes you about the process involved in enzymatic catalysis and the different variables. For example, what does temperature do? What is the effect of concentration? What is the effect of pH? Okay, so on the rate of the reaction is what is called as enzyme kinetics. And the variables that are studied include the concentration of the enzyme, concentration of the substrate, concentration of the reactants, the products, what are the inhibitors, the different types of inhibitors, activators, pH, temperature, and ionic strength. So these are the various factors that can affect the kinetics of an enzyme. Now, coming to applications of enzyme kinetics, a complete kinetic analysis together with its complementary studies of equilibrium, ligand binding isotope exchange, covalent modification of amino acid side chain, etc., can disclose most of the functional characteristics of a particular enzyme. Okay, so these are the things which we should be doing when we have to have a very good idea of an enzyme. So, enzyme kinetics combined with related approaches can show how the functional properties of a mutant or an engineered enzyme or a designer enzyme can work compared with that of a wild type parent. So if you are actually making an enzyme, you're tailor making an enzyme according to your specification, how do you actually know whether it's working fine? So this can be known only by learning the kinetics of the enzyme. Now, many of the equations of enzyme kinetics are also applicable to understand other biological processes. For example, membrane transport and receptor ligand interaction. And as we all know, most of the most of the reactions are enzyme catalysts. So if you have to have a deeper knowledge of any of these reactions, the enzyme kinetics, which is helping in that particular process, will help us a lot to understand. Now, an understanding of Vmax, the maximum velocity, and Km, Michaelis constant, is important. So, whenever you hear about enzyme kinetics, these are the two things which should come to your mind. One is Vmax and one is Km. And you should know what is Vmax and what is Km. Okay, Vmax is nothing but maximum velocity, which means at what is the maximum rate at which an enzyme can catalyze a reaction. And Km is a constant. Okay, it is called as a Km, is otherwise also called as a Michaelis constant. And that is very, very important that we'll deal in the next chapters. Substrate saturation curves and double reciprocal plot gives a clear idea about enzymes. So you should also have an idea about what these plots stands for. What is a Lineweaver-Burk plot? What is the significance of Lineweaver-Burk plot? When you see the graph, how do you actually decipher what is meant by Vmax or what is Km from out of the Lineweaver-Burk plot? So these are the things which you will be learning in kinetics. Now, fundamentals of graphs and enzyme kinetics. So we can have a clear idea about the way in which an enzyme works and how it is regulated by the interaction of other molecules such as inhibitors. How do we understand? By evaluating the speed in which it catalyzes a reaction under the influence of a series of varying conditions. For example, if you're learning the effect of temperature, you vary the temperature and understand the rate of the reaction, how the rate of the reaction is affected. Similarly, if you want to know the effect of pH, you understand, you do enzymatic reaction at different pHs. Okay, so that is the way you get a clear idea about at which is the optimum pH at which the enzyme can work, or what is the optimum temperature at which the enzyme can work. What are the inhibitors which can inhibit a particular reaction? What are the activators which can further speed up an enzymatic reaction? Okay, so it is easy to understand how fast a reaction could be catalyzed by a specific enzyme. But we need to understand all the factors. So there will be multiple factors which can lead to an increase in speed of a reaction, or the Vmax can be altered by that, which contribute to the effect of enzyme on the reaction rate. So it is easy to interpret about the properties of enzymes and results when experiments are presented in the form of graphs. Okay, so graphs are much more easier to understand the effect of variables on enzymes. So we will be able to understand a lot about how an enzyme works and about how it interacts with other molecules such as inhibitors by measuring how fast it catalyzes a reaction under a series of different conditions. So the information from these experiments is often presented in the form of graphs, and hence it is required to understand how graphs are made and how to read them and decipher the results out of it. So an understanding of both the graphs is very important when you learn enzymology. Okay, how are these graphs drawn? What does each each term in the graph signify? What is if a km increases, what does it what do you decipher out of it? If Vmax is increased, what do you decipher out of it? Okay, so these are the factors. Now this is a basic enzymatic enzyme kinetic graph. You have a x-axis, you have a y-axis. You always plot the rate of the reaction on the y-axis. Now, the rate of reaction as per enzyme, it is the amount of product formed. So if you're doing an analysis in a lab, it is usually the amount of product which is formed, which you plot on the y-axis, and on the x-axis, you usually plot the substrate concentration. So how much of the substrate is being utilized? Accordingly, the product will be formed, and initially it is very slow. You can see in the graph, it is a hyperbola. And after a particular time, what happens is the enzyme, the substrate becomes saturated with the enzyme, and then it reaches a plateau. Okay, so after that, it does not speed up a reaction even if you supply with more of the substrate. So one basic thing you should remember is whenever you're plotting a graph when you're assaying an enzyme is x-axis, you plot the substrate concentration, y-axis, you plot the rate of the reaction. Okay, so this is an enzyme kinetic graph showing rate of reaction as a function of substrate concentration. So in graph shown in the figure, the substrate concentration is plotted on the x-axis and the rate of reaction on the y-axis. The experiment is conducted. How do you conduct it? By taking increasing concentration of the substrate and same concentration of the enzyme, keeping the pH and temperature constant at optimum pH level, optimum levels. Okay, so always don't vary all the variables. Okay, so you have to keep all the things constant and you vary one. For example, if you want to learn the effect of pH, you keep temperature constant. You have to keep it at an optimum temperature. Okay, and substrate concentration constant, the enzyme concentration constant, and you vary only the pH. If you're going to study the effect of temperature, you vary only the temperature. Okay, so that is what here. If you're increasing this concentration of the substrate, then the concentration of the enzyme should be constant, the pH should be constant, temperature should be constant. Not only constant, you should first find out the optimum temperature and optimum pH, which means what is the temperature or the pH at which it gives the maximum activity. So you have to conduct the experiment in that condition. So initially the reaction is very slow. As you can see here, the reaction rate is slow and suddenly it increases. Okay, so as we increase the concentration of the substrate, the reaction rate increases, and after a particular concentration of substrate, the reaction remains a constant. Why does it happen? So this is a frequently asked question. Why does it become a plateau? Well, this is because your substrate becomes saturated, and the enzyme is a constant, right? So this even if you increase, suppose there are 5 molecules of substrate. The enzyme is a constant, so you have only 3 molecules of the enzyme. These 3 will go and bind. Okay, so even if you have this 2 extra substrate, there is no enzyme to come and bind to it and form the product, right? So what is happening? It has become reached a saturation. So beyond a saturation, the speed of the reaction does not increase. Hence, the shape of the graph is a hyperbola. This is because as the enzyme concentration is a constant, the active site of the enzyme gets saturated at a particular concentration of the substrate, and hence Beyond a particular concentration of the substrate, the rate of a reaction is not further enhanced by a constant concentration of the enzyme. So the enzyme is a constant, and hence even if you increase the substrate concentration, the rate does not increase. So that is clearly depicted in the graph. Okay, so this is also another way of representing. You can show that. So whatever you have the maximum rate, that is extrapolated on the y-axis, and that is taken as the Vmax. So that is the maximum velocity. So this is the maximum rate. So you extrapolate it on the y-axis. This is called as a Vmax. Now in the y-axis, suppose this is 100, Vmax by 2 will be 50. Okay, so half of the Vmax. Okay, Vmax by 2. Suppose it is 80, Vmax by 2 will be 40. Okay, so then Vmax by 2, when you extrapolate it on your graph and then you connect it to the x-axis, that gives you the value of Km, which is substrate concentration. So when you conduct an assay, you can easily calculate the Km. How? By knowing the Vmax, you extrapolate it on the y-axis, you get the value of Vmax divided by 2 and extrapolate it on your hyperbolic graph, and you extrapolate it into the x-axis. There the value which touches the x-axis gives you the Km. Okay, so the substrate concentration, okay, at which the Vmax by 2 touches the graph is called as a Km. Okay, so the half maximum value, the substrate concentration at which the Vmax is half maximum gives you the Km value. Okay, so that is how it is. Now, maximum velocity, what is meant by Vmax? Increases the substrate concentration indefinitely, does not increase the rate of an enzyme catalyzed reaction beyond a certain point. And this point is reached when there are enough substrate molecules to completely fill or saturate the enzyme's active sites. And this plateau occurs because the enzyme is saturated, meaning that all available enzyme molecules are already tied up processing the substrate. So this is what we were discussing now. And so any additional substrate molecules will simply have to wait around until another enzyme becomes available. So the rate of the reaction, what is meant by rate of the reaction? It is the amount of product produced per unit time. It is limited by the concentration of the enzyme. This maximum rate of the reaction is characteristic of a particular enzyme at a particular concentration, and this is known as maximal velocity. Now coming to the maximal velocity of Vmax is the rate of the reaction under these conditions, and Vmax reflects how fast an enzyme can catalyze a reaction, or Vmax is given by the asymptote to the velocity curve as a substrate concentration is extrapolated to infinity. So the substrate concentration is extrapolated to infinity, and the asymptote to the velocity curve is given by the Vmax as we saw in the graph. So that is what is depicted here. So this is your Vmax, okay. So the rate of the reaction velocity V is represented as the amount of product formed per unit time. So rate is usually depicted by the amount of product formed per unit time as a function of the substrate concentration. So this is how the graph looks like. And this is here it is explaining how the substrate concentration at half maximum velocity is what is called as the Km. Now, what is meant by Michael's constant? Enzymes have varying tendency to bind their substrate. An enzyme's Km describes a substrate concentration at which half the enzyme active sites are occupied by the substrate. And a high Km, what does a high Km mean? What is the significance of Km? A high Km means the lot of substrate must be present to saturate the enzyme, meaning the enzyme has low affinity for the substrate. So this is something very important. It is inversely proportional. Higher the Km, lower the affinity. Lower the Km, higher the affinity, which means lower the Km, the enzyme requires only very little of substrate, or very little of the enzyme to catalyze the reaction. On the other hand, a low Km means only a small amount of the substrate is needed to saturate the enzyme, indicating a high affinity for substrate. So graphically, the Km is a substrate concentration that gives the enzyme 1/2 of its Vmax. That is what we saw in the graph. Although it may look like that Vmax drops, if the graph is extended along the x-axis, the Vmax stays a constant. So we have covered the basics of enzyme kinetics today. I hope all of you are clear with it. Okay, so we discussed about the importance of learning enzyme kinetics. Enzyme kinetics, you actually learn about how the enzymes behave if you vary certain factors. For example, maybe the temperature, the pressure, not the pressure, the temperature, the pH, the concentration of the enzyme, the concentration of the substrate, inhibitors, all these have got a effect. And by looking into the graph, the Lineweaver plot graph, you actually get to know what is the Vmax, what is the value of Km, and from these values you can actually study the enzyme in a better way. So thank you.